Thank you guys for tuning in to Munchie Gang TV, where Aaliyah Desiree does it her way. And today we're going to be making Caribbean oxtails. So we're going to start with rinsing them off with some vinegar, and I'm going to add some salt to my water just to make sure that the oxtails get really clean. And then I let these oxtails soak for about 30 minutes or so. And then I'm going to go back in and rinse them off. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to show you what vegetables and herbs and seasonings that I'm going to be using. So first we're going to start off with multicolored bell peppers, garlic cloves, bay leaves, thyme, scotch bonnet pepper, ginger, scallions, red onions, and also I forgot to add the tomatoes here. Canned tomatoes or fresh. So seasonings would be chicken bouillon and then garlic powder, Cajun seasoning, crushed red pepper, ground ginger, smoked paprika, ground cumin, ground allspice or pimento seed, black pepper, coriander powder, oregano, salt. I use pink Himalayan salt, and some rosemary leaves, but I prefer fresh rosemary. Onion powder, beef broth, and make sure you cut your veggies up. So all the vegetables I had, you guys are gonna chop half of it up, and then you're gonna put that half in the blender. The other half, you're just gonna have it chopped up so you can add it inside the pot with your food, and the vegetables just gonna cook and disintegrate. Okay, so okay, you guys, here we're going to just rub the oxtails together just to make sure that we get all the dirty residue off of it. And then we're going to pour the dirty water out and just make sure that we re-rinse them again just to get a good cleaning on them. And so here I'm just going to re-rinse them off. And then okay, so after pouring out the water, here I'm just showing you guys that you might have to go in and cut off some of the extra fat that's on the oxtails, and yeah, just give them an extra cleaning. Honestly, some people like the fat on it, so it's all up to you and what you prefer. Mine didn't have that much fat on it, and so I really didn't have to go in and cut anything off, but I have in the past. And also, if you go to the butcher to get them freshly chopped, you can have them chop it even smaller than the thicker pieces, which will make them also cook much faster. Just all up to what you prefer. Now we're going to start with the seasoning, and I'm going to show you guys as I go. And I'm not going to tell you how much seasoning to use. It's all up to you and what your family prefer, but mine were actually really seasoned. So there I used onion powder. Here I'm using some ginger. And I like mine's really flavorful. So I might use things that you guys just never used before, but like I said, it's all up to you when it comes to your seasoning. So that was ginger, garlic powder, onion powder. Here I'm putting some coriander on there. And that is not that easy to find because I haven't seen it that much. But if you can get your hands on it, that's a really good spice to use. Here I'm going to use some black pepper. Next, I'm going to be using some cumin. Then I'm going to be using some oregano. And now I'm going in with some allspice. Allspice is really good. And then also I'm going to add in, if you guys have some Jamaican seasonings, that's also really good to use as well. Here I'm going to be adding smoked paprika. Again, all the seasonings is up to you and your family's taste buds. You can use more or you can use less. But I didn't use too much salt because a lot of stuff that I use had salt in it already. Here I'm using some of the chicken bouillon. And now I'm going to go in with some Worcestershire sauce. I'm sorry, Cajun seasoning. And now I'm going to go in and add some crushed red pepper flakes. Some salt. And some Worcestershire sauce. Okay, so now I'm going to dump the water that's at the bottom of this out before it washes all my seasoning off. I just don't want that water. Because I already have to add some wet ingredients, which would be my mixture that I made with all the green stuff. Now I'm rubbing this around like this, and if I see some oxtails that don't really have any seasonings on it, I'll probably just flip them and then add more seasonings. And this is gonna sit, so like I said, there's still some water at the bottom, but that's okay. This is okay. And I didn't add any browning seasoning, and I'm not going to, because I get a pretty good color on mine without adding browning seasoning. But I am going to add some more Worcestershire sauce. And then when I start to cook these, if I taste it and it's not enough for me, that's when I will adjust my taste. But this right here is just for the marinade. And I am going to go ahead and sprinkle just a little bit of rosemary, because we love rosemary. Not too much, because I don't like it loose like this, but just enough to get the aroma and flavor on it, but not too much, because I don't like loose rosemary. But it smells so good. Alright, so once again, this is what it looks like. just seasoned up, no browning seasoning. And then I'm going to take my marinade, that what I did, my scallions, onions, bell pepper, ginger, and garlic with, and I'm going to pour some of that on it. And then I'm going to save, because I'm not using all of this. So I'm going to pour some on there. And give it a good shake right quick. Okay, that's enough for me. So this is going to give it a lot of flavor. Some people make this, usually I would have more herbs in this and more vegetables, but I used what I had on hand today, and this still is going to give it a really good flavor. I'm just trying to keep massaging it in. Okay, my bowl got a little messy here, but then I'm going to let this sit overnight, and I'll just give you guys a close-up of one. That's what it looks like. No browning. So, alright. So, I will be back to let you guys see what it looks like after marinating. Oh, I was saying that you guys don't have to let it marinate overnight. If you guys don't have time, letting it marinate for a few hours is just fine. And sorry if you guys hear TV in the background. I do have 3 little kids. So, yeah. I apologize about that if you guys hear TV in the background. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, hello everyone. Today is the next day. My hands are freshly washed. Okay, so I did let these sit overnight. And off camera, I did go ahead and I in the blender I put some thyme and some bay leaves. And I just blended that up and I poured on top of these, just so it could give that some extra flavor. And I also did forget to mention to you guys soy sauce and ketchup and some tomato paste. I put about 3 tablespoons of ketchup and 1 heaping spoon of tomato paste in the marinade as well. Okay, so I'm just giving it a stir before I go ahead and put it in my roasting pan here. I have this roasting pan. Sorry, I can't. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and put these in a skillet, and I'm going to braise them to sear off some of the fat, and just to give it that it'll help with the flavor, and it also is going to help with the cooking time. So I'm just showing you what they look like fresh out the fridge, stirred up. Again, this is what they look like. I'm trying to get a good picture. Okay, and now I'm going to put them in the skillet. You will need some oil, about okay guys, I just come to show you some of the ones that I have braised off. Like this was the one that had the most fat, but I like that little char on it like that. And this is one that didn't. So yeah, I wish you guys could smell how delicious it smells in here. It definitely has those Caribbean flavors going on. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that. And so just let me go ahead and finish searing off these other ones. I have a few more to go, and then we'll move on to the next. Okay everyone, this is when I have the oxtails and the marinade and the veggies in the pan. So I'm going to put this in the oven at 375, and I will let you guys know how long that I kept them in there to be fall off the bone tender. And as I go, I will show you clips and I will be draining some of the grease off. Okay, but yes, this is what it looks like before I put it in there. Alright, be back soon. Okay, everyone, this is what they look like at the 1 hour mark. So what I'm going to do now, this grease, I'm going to be draining this off, just scooping it out and putting it into another bowl. And just trying to get down to where the actual flavor is, because it's just still a lot of grease. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna put it back in the oven, and then I'm gonna start on my plantains and my Caribbean rice and beans, and I'll be back. All right, you guys. So I did go ahead and drain the grease off. I just picked the pot up and just poured it in its bowl. And I know I've done enough, and I start to see like the seasonings and stuff. Although some seasonings in here, I don't really care. Just wanted to get a lot of this fat off of it. So now, as you can see with this, down in the bottom of it, I still want some so I can make sure I have like enough to like scoop on top of my oxtails and rice and stuff. But I'm gonna put this back in. I also want to let you guys see how tender they are already and falling off the bone already. And that's because these oxtails was like cut in half. I didn't do it, the butcher did it. But and with this roast pan, it had a top on it, and that also helps it cook a little bit faster as well. Okay, so I just want to show you guys with my fork. Use the stove. This stuff is kind of messy. I'm trying to get a piece. I'll show you how tender it is. I can already stick my fork through it. So it's not as tender as I want it, but it's tender enough to bite through, stick a fork through, but not tender enough for me just yet. And although the bones is falling out, it's still not tender enough. So I'm gonna put it back in, and yeah, and I'll be back just to keep showing you guys until we get to the finished product. All right, thank you. All right, Munchie Gang TV, we are all finished with the Caribbean oxtails. They look so freaking delicious, and they taste scrumptious. The Caribbean flavors definitely popped out in this recipe because I used those bell peppers and scallions. And also, I cooked these for about 3 hours with the lid on, and I seasoned them when I needed to. And so if you follow this recipe and adjust the taste to your guys' liking, as I said before in the video, I did add more seasoning when I drained that grease off just to make sure. So you guys can give it a taste test at that point to make sure that it's where you need it to be. If it's not, just adjust it to your taste. And if it is, just cook it some more until it's fall off the bone tender. And you guys will have a delicious recipe. Also, I have a Caribbean rice and peas video to go with these oxtails and some fried plantains or plantains. I know people pronounce it differently. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please share with all your friends and family. Please comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this video and any other recipes that you may have. And please remember to always keep God first and one love.